Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to Tereak Talks and to another Premier League preview show. As some of you might be wondering, and you might be here watching live thinking, hello, welcome Tereak, getting into the comment section or the live chat right now. But this is, unfortunately, it isn't live. I am doing this as a pre-record. You will be seeing me in the comments during this stream, just saying hello to you guys. I still will be here, but this is Tereak from the past as I am recording this now. I am out later on, but I'll still be here in the chat. I'll just pop in and say hello to you guys. And I really do appreciate that if you are watching here right now, thank you for tuning in. I have missed a couple previously. I did last week's Premier League preview show. If those of you did check it out when I spoke about the Aston Villa Arsenal game, need to hold my hands up and I'll speak about that when we get into the fixtures. But I have been ill within the past couple of weeks and there is a virus going around. My mum's got it right now. She's got a chesty cough and it's more of like a flu, like a cold type thing situation. And that's what I had as well. And I'm still recovering. I'm still not 100%. I'm going out tonight. I'm playing bowling. That's what I'm going to be doing. And will I win? I'll let you know over the weekend as we talk about some of the fixtures as well. So yeah, I wasn't able to bring match reactions and it's been very quiet on the channel front in the past few weeks. A bit quieter than I wanted to, but trying to recover. And I think this is the first time me going out properly since I've been sick. So yeah, people, I do appreciate you all as well. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So without you guys in the comment section, me interacting with you right now at this moment, it might be a quicker and shorter video in that sense, but easier for you to digest and means that I should have less reason to waffle. But if you guys know what happens on this channel, I'm going to waffle. I'm going to go on tangents. We're going to go deep dive into certain things and fixtures off script because we don't follow a script over here, as you can probably tell. But people, make sure you do hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and thank you for tuning in right now. And without further ado, let's get into it. And here we are, guys, on game week 17. As you can see, the main fixture on the thumbnail is the Manchester United away to Liverpool. I was about to say Man United at home, but I don't think that would really do them much favours at this moment in time either, because their home form hasn't been great. The last two home games they played was against Bayern Munich in the Champions League in midweek in a must-win game for them, and Bayern Munich had nothing on the line, and they still managed to lose 1-0 to a Kingsley Coleman goal. And then, of course, their last Premier League game, none of us predicted this in the chat, but Bournemouth heavily defeated Manchester United at Old Trafford, which was a shock to us all. A shock in a way, but we're not surprised with what we're seeing from Man United. But before we talk about that game and Liverpool, and I want to hear your predictions, and I'll just discuss what I think is going to happen in the game and kind of touch on both sides a little bit. Guys, this is also a prediction show, and I will be showing you at the end of the video what the prediction table is looking like. And we also do have a predictor of the month for December. We are just gone past halfway through the month for December. We still got 3 more fixtures, including this game week, to predict. So all to play for. I will show you the predictor of the month, and I also will show you the predictions table. And those of you wondering, hey, why are we doing this predictions table? Because there are prizes and multiple giveaways, not just for the winner, for those at the end of the season. And if I finish below certain people, there will be a forfeit at play as well. So, guys, make sure you do leave your predictions in the comment section at the end. You can put them into the live chat, and you can discuss them between yourselves what you think that's going to be. But for you to submit your predictions, has to be in the comment section at the end of the video. You will get 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct result. So, if you want to get 3 points and Liverpool win this game by 3-0, and you predict 3-0 to Liverpool, 3 points to you. But if they win by 3-0 and you predict 2-1 Liverpool or 4-1 Liverpool or anything like that, you will only get 1 point for the correct result. Hopefully you can understand. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. Someone will be able to help you with that there. So without further ado, let's get into the first fixture. And the first fixture that you can see right here is Nottingham Forest at home to Tottenham. This one is going to be playing in about an hour's time or 55 minutes time from when you're watching this. I have put up a community post. If you want to submit your predictions for this game, you will need to put them underneath the comment section of that community post, because it most likely will be too late. That's just a reminder, a last minute reminder for you all. I have put something in the Discord chat. I've put something into the community post. So if you want to join the Discord for any updates, the link is in the description down below. But yeah, guys, do check out the community page and stay tuned with the channel when we do put things up, just in case there's any games like this, because I wasn't aware until like earlier on today that this game was happening on Friday. So make sure you do get that in there down below. And let's talk about Liverpool versus Manchester United. Because this is a pre-record and it's before all the press conferences have concluded for all managers, I won't be delving into the injuries as such, and we'll just be talking about what both teams have done this season, and some key facts that I can remember off the top of my head, because we remember, all of us and Man United fans, it will be a horrible memory of this fixture last season after the Carabao Cup final, where you was on such a high. After this game, you hit an all-time low, losing 7-0 to your rivals. Of course, all the jokes of that were out the way then, but it was shocking at that point in time. And Man United had faint hopes of a title chase, a title race at that time, and it got blown to smithereens after this fixture in particular. And Liverpool, they were below Man United, and Man United were having a better season at that point. And Manchester, and it's completely the other way around now. Liverpool, top of the league. They might not be top of the league going into this fixture, because Arsenal do play Brighton, and it's only 1 point between them. So yeah, they could still be. They might not be by the end of this, by the start of this game. But Liverpool, I'd certainly ride on a high. They won 2-1 in unconvincing fashion, and with a little bit more than a little bit of help from the referee in that game to send off Jordan Ayew, which a lot of people, Palace fans in particular, myself, feel that was a wrong decision and felt aggrieved for that. And I totally feel sympathy for the Crystal Palace faithful, although that did happen at the start of the season when Arsenal played Crystal Palace and lost Takehiro Tomiyasu to an even softer red card. Not like I don't forget these things, but yeah, we'll be talking about referees, officiating and such when we get to Arsenal. But let's focus on this, because Liverpool have been fantastic, especially going forward. And do you know what? Even though they have been far from convincing defensively, their record defensively looks quite well. And they've conceded the same amount of goals as Arsenal this season, having the joint best defensive factual record in the league, even though the underlying numbers will tell you differently. Some may question, is it sustainable? But some may say, hey, this is what happens when you've got a world-class goalkeeper, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. You've got a world-class defender in Virgil van Dijk, and arguably at this moment in time, the best defender in the world, given his form and returning back to the levels he once shown before that knee injury. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp, a good manager, he understands what he's doing, the risks that he's taking and the load that he's putting on that defense, but they're able to carry it. And Liverpool have looked very good going forward, although in the last few fixtures, their attackers haven't scored as much. Like, I don't think they've scored in their last 3 games, the forwards for Liverpool, which is astounding, really, given the numbers, the quality, the plethora, the depth that they have with that attacking line. But you're looking at this game against a depleted Manchester United team, where they may have some players return. Eric Ten Hag has said so far today that Luke Shaw and Rashford are have trained and could be available for this game. It just depends on how they go on in training the next couple of days and how they respond to Rashford, who missed out through illness, and Luke Shaw picked up a little niggle in midweek that forced him to come off against Bayern Munich. But there will be huge pluses, I guess, for Man United in a game where they're already going into this low on confidence. Erik ten Hag, is his job really in jeopardy? We don't know, because we're not. It's a bit of an instability, well, as there always has been at the top of Manchester United, and no one really knows what decisions they're going to make, if they are looking to pull the trigger. But certainly within the fan base, it is on a knife edge at the moment, because there's a lot of people, the biggest believers in Ten Hag. Another devastating defeat here will surely push them and say, yeah. Although we do have other issues at the top, this is untenable if he does go and suffer a heavy defeat again here. And the players, no one really knows again how the players are reacting to it, because one moment they'll look out there and they'll look like they're fighting a little bit how it looked towards the end of Ollie days, until it literally did fall apart, where they lost like 4-0 to Watford, and it fell apart completely. We've seen their top earners like Marcus Rashford have horrendous seasons and put in horrendous performances, and not just with his performances, but effort levels decrease massively, and it looks like that he's kind of checking out. And there's discourse with Casemiro, Rafael Varane, and these are important figures at the club who are the highest earners, and a lot of Manchester United fans were proclaiming that these are some of the best players in the world in their position once upon a time, but they've nosedived as well in their level. It's very on rocky ground at Manchester United, and Liverpool could put that to the test. There is no place more difficult for United to go to at this moment in time. City are probably up there, and Arsenal, of course, but Liverpool, they're big rivals. Football heritage, the pinnacle of English football, these two clubs. So much hatred between the two sides, even between the two cities. So there is a lot in this, one of the biggest rivalries out there in the world. And it's been one-sided at this fixture, especially at Anfield. Manchester United have only scored 2 goals since 2015. That's what the stat I saw. Not sure how correct that is. 2 goals at Anfield since then. And it's been 36 for Liverpool. We saw the 7-0. We've seen a 4-0 there, 3-1s, all of this, etc. We've seen 5s get shipped to Old Trafford when Man United have been in disarray. And Liverpool in this type of form, with the front line that they've got, if they are hot and they are on it, forget Manchester United. There's not many teams in the world that can stop that, especially given the form, the confidence that Trent Alexander-Arnold has got going forward, taking on this role, which is not as new as people may think, because Liverpool kind of switched towards the end of last season with him inverting and playing centrally. But we've even seen it start halves or games in that centre midfield position. And he has been on fire, scoring goals, creating chances, being Liverpool's talisman, taking on that role and the responsibility, the leadership. Even though he's not necessarily wearing the captain's armband, he is the vice captain for Liverpool. And he's taken that mantle since Jordan Henderson has left. And this is going to be a huge game for Liverpool in their title hopes and dreams, as they are sitting at the top. It is in their hands currently. Yes, we still got a long way. We're not even halfway through the season, guys. We've got a really intriguing title race, but this looks one-sided. And I'm going to give you my prediction right now. And Man United fans, look away. I'm sorry. And you guys may have gone for some similar sort of predictions yourself there. But I've gone with Liverpool 4, Manchester United 1. I think Liverpool back at Anfield. They've not played they played at Anfield in that thrilling game. That's the 4-3 fixture against Fulham. And there's some excellent goals we saw on display there. Then went away for 2 games at Sheffield United and Crystal Palace. 2 games they were expected to win, but were probably, as Liverpool fans could admit, they weren't as the best performances, especially the last one against Crystal Palace. Far from it. And the game kind of turned on its head when that red card happened for Jordan Ayew. But they'll want to set a statement going into a huge week. They've got a Carabao Cup quarter-final at home against West Ham. And then at the end of the week, they are facing their title challengers, Arsenal, at Anfield. They're going to want to set a statement, get the best players in form, like Salah, even though he scored. Of course, he scored against Crystal Palace. So yeah, that attacker stat is out the window. But yeah, he scored against Crystal Palace. They are really on it here, and they're going to want to get themselves back there, get that continuity, that form. Nunez has had some big chances of late. He's going to want to pull it into the back of the net and really set a statement and get the ball rolling with some form in a big week for Liverpool. This is going to be a big game, and Liverpool, I think they're going to put them to the sword. However, I can see United scoring, though, because Liverpool, as we said, have looked susceptible against Fulham, conceded. Sheffield United didn't really create too much, but they had a good sort of performance against them. And yes, they are one of the worst teams in the league, but still, you can kind of see a better attack with United, who are going to be without Bruno Fernandes as he's suspended. He's trying to hit them on the counter attack, may grab one goal there, but it's going to be a convincing win. And I've gone with Liverpool 4, Manchester United 1. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to be seeing your thoughts in that live chat right now. What you think the score is going to be for this game. It's going to be one of the most watched games, one of the most one-sided Liverpool-Man United games that we've seen for a long time, and they have been very much one-sided. But last year, going into it, Man United had a bit more faith and they had a bit more belief with the team that they were going into. Liverpool in disarray slightly. Not as bad as what Man United are now, of course, but nowhere near the level that we've seen from them in the past few years. But then, yeah, we kind of mentioned that already. United fans, this isn't one where they're going to be going into with a lot of confidence. Or let me know if you think differently as well. So yeah, just in case as well, I didn't put up the score for this one. That was my prediction for the Nottingham Forest Spurs one. You can see that also into the live chat, into the community page. Sorry, fumbling, and I'm not even live. But let's go now into the next fixture. And it is Arsenal versus Brighton. This is also on Sunday. This is a 2:00 kickoff, and it is before the big one. It's not on TV here in the UK because I think they've got another fixture on at that time. We've got quite a few 2:00 kickoffs at that time. Because Brighton are in the Europa League. Yeah, the West Ham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Man, Sky Sports really do mess up some of these fixtures. Because I remember when Liverpool played Fulham on that weekend and Chelsea played Brighton, there was lots of goals there. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, and they had the West Ham Crystal Palace game. No disrespect to West Ham or Crystal Palace, but why? Why was that on? And why is West Ham versus Wolves? We'll talk about that. I'm disrespecting that fixture. Maybe that will be one of the fixtures of the weekend. Who knows? But Arsenal versus Brighton. And Brighton have a very good record going to the Emirates. And they have done of late. They've won their last 3 fixtures at the Emirates of late. Not last season, the season before. So yeah, 2 seasons ago. Brighton won by 2-1. He retired last year. Enoch and Wepu scored a great goal for Brighton, and Leandro Trossard as well to give them the 2-1 win in that fixture. Then last season in the Carabao Cup, they won by 3-1 in that game as well. And then the latest fixture, which was towards the end of the season, which was the final nail in the coffin for Arsenal fans. They lost that by 3-0 at the end of the season, and that confirmed Manchester City's title win. And Arsenal going into this one will have a lot more confidence and they'll want to take revenge, even though they did lose against Aston Villa last week, and we'll talk about that fixture as well. But Brighton have a lot of injuries in this game, and just played yesterday in the Europa League in their final fixture, which they won by 1-0 against Marseille. They've struggled with that Europa League turnover. And we've seen a lot of that with their results, mixed results, conceding a lot of goals. Brighton are on a ridiculous record of scoring and conceding in all their games this season, which is crazy, by the way. But yeah, we've seen a lot of draws. We've seen quite a few defeats and not as many wins as we expect. But we know with Brighton, they can turn up. They're like a box of chocolates this year. You don't know what Brighton you're going to get. They can easily get smacked like Aston Villa beat them by 6-1, or they could turn up and put a great display like we've seen against Newcastle, Liverpool in that 2-2 draw there as well. So yeah, you never really know what you're going to get. But with Arsenal, have been much more consistent this season. And guys, those of you who did watch last week's, I said that Arsenal, I was not quite confident, very confident that Arsenal would win that game against Aston Villa. Although the game played out how I expected in terms of how Arsenal, the positions that we get into, how Villa would set up and the chances that we'd create, Arsenal didn't put them away. So I need to hold my hands up and say, credit to Aston Villa. I was wrong. I thought Arsenal were going to win by 3-1. I thought Aston Villa would score, but I thought Arsenal would put more in the back of the net. And we should have. We had plenty of chances in that game. And I think Brighton will allow us to have that sort of level of chance creation against them too. They play high-risk football. We know how De Zerbi plays, but they don't have the same qualities they did last year with an Alexis McAllister and Moises Caicedo in that midfield to give that stability and attacking edge, the balance that they both provide. They've lost that. They've got some inexperienced players in there as well. Losing Levi Colwill, who was excellent in that game, and he was outstanding. And that's where I thought with Levi Colwill, this is going to be one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League in the future. Hasn't hit that level yet, has had a sticky time at Chelsea, as well as every single player apart from Cole Palmer, essentially. I thought Brighton have lost some key individuals there. They've not had that sort of continuity. You don't know their best 11, struggled with injuries. Matoma has been up and down with his form, but he's come back from an injury of late, so he could have a big impact on this fixture here. But I do think that Arsenal will want to bounce back at home. They're going to try and turn the Emirates into a fortress. Arsenal haven't lost a home game this season. Our 2 defeats did come away at difficult grounds at Newcastle United and Aston Villa. But this one is where they're going to try and build from here. Take some revenge. They're going to have the feelings of disappointment that they got against Brighton last season in our title hopes, although it was all but done by then anyway, but they put the final nail in the coffin. And Arsenal had a massive dent to their top 4 hopes the season before when we failed in our objective of finishing into the top 4 as well. So Arsenal will have a lot of energy and emotion going into this game, but it's about controlling it. Can Arsenal show that stability that they've got, that they've shown defensively this season? And most importantly, can they take their chances, which in certain games has certainly been a problem. But the positive, I would say, as an Arsenal fan of late, is that we are creating more. Arsenal are getting into the final third, breaking down low blocks, but this one won't be a low block from Brighton. They will play with a bit higher line and allow more chances against them. But can Arsenal take those chances? Can we show that clinical edge? I've been a massive defender of Gabriel Jesus and people who say, it's not good enough for Arsenal to win a league. I disagree, because he allows others like Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Havertz, Trossard, you name it, all these types of players to get into those goal-scoring positions, create chances for them. He can even create chances for himself, and he allows Arsenal to score as many goals as they did last year. And I still think that now he's back fit, and let's hope that he can remain fit for the remainder of the season and be a consistent starter for this Arsenal team that his quality certainly deserves. And the drop-off between Jay-Z's to Nketiah is a big enough gap in that sense, where Arsenal's chance creation and performance levels will dip. I think that he is the key to Arsenal's attack. And if Arsenal are going to get Odegaard scoring 10 plus goals, Martinelli 10 plus goals, Saka, who's very much closer to that already, but, improving upon his output that he had last season, then we need Gabriel Jesus fit and firing. And he's going to be a big player for this game here, and if Arsenal win. And my prediction is, I think Arsenal are going to win. I've said Arsenal 3, Brighton 1. Still think Brighton will score, because they will continue that run of scoring every game and conceding in every game. But Arsenal will have enough firepower, and Jesus will be on it, refreshed after the midweek rest that we had against PSV. Odegaard had 20 minutes or so. So same with Declan Rice. These players ticking over. That's probably another podcast or another discussion in itself, or why these players are playing. And there's plenty of discussion out there, plenty of good topics as well. So if you want to see that, but I'm sure we'll bring the Arsenal show back very, very soon, guys. Mate, stay tuned to the channel. I've got some developments as well. I'm trying to work and trying to balance a lot of things, but trying to create things as well for you guys. So yeah, make sure you do stay tuned with that. But I think Arsenal are going to win 3-1. Again, comment section, live chat. You know what to do. Submit your predictions in the comment section. put your predictions in there. We can discuss them in the live chat. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm an idiot, or tell me I'm the better, most knowledgeable man that you know on YouTube, as well as the best looking. But that goes without saying. Let's go into the next game, and the next one. We'll probably fly through these a little bit more because there is not as many real games that have a lot of jeopardy, or it's hard to decide. I think it's quite easy to predict some of these games. Manchester City at home to Crystal Palace. Manchester City bounced back with a great 2-1 win. Not the most convincing performance away to Luton, but in a poor run of form that they've been in. It's all about getting the 3 points. And this is Manchester City's last game and for the next couple of weeks as they travel away for the FIFA Club World Cup, and this is going to be huge for them. Can they leave on a high? It doesn't look like Erling Haaland's going to be fit to play this game, as Pep Guardiola says that he's got a stress on his bone, on his foot. That's what we're hearing. But I do think Manchester City will be refreshed and will want to try and go into this Club World Cup on a high. And Crystal Palace lost a lot of players due to injury. Will be without Jordan Ayew, where Crystal Palace fans, he kind of splits opinion between the Eagles fan base. But we know that he's trusted in these types of games for what he can do defensively, and scores quite a few important goals against these types of fixtures. Even though he's not a consistent goal scorer, he does perform in some of the big games. But he'll be missing for this one here. And I do think Man City is gonna breeze this one. Unfortunately, Palace fans, close your ears again. I'm upsetting some of the biggest, a lot of the Palace fans who are subscribers here from the Eagle Eye family, and Man United fans. And let me just say this as well, even though I've not given a good result for Palace, I want a big shout out and send my love and prayers to those at Eagle Eye Football, and in particular Nick and Nate, friends of the channel, family, you know what I mean? Because they are family. Ever since I began this channel, like, these were people that welcome me with open arms and show me love, banter when we do a lot of preview shows. I've been welcome onto the channel, and they've networked with me really well over there. And shout out to Rich and the Eagle Eye family, Nick and Nate. Sorry for the loss, and send my love and prayers over there to them. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but make sure you do send love and prayers to Nick and Nate, who lost their mother earlier this week as well. So yeah, really do love over there for you guys, and I can't stress enough how much you continue to be my thoughts and those over there at the Eagle Eye family. And it's a difficult time of year as well, guys. I'm sorry to bring it down a little bit, because it is a difficult time of year where there is a lot going on, and it's quite stressful for a lot of people. And as we reflect on things that happened in the past year, and moments and memories that we've had with lost ones as well, this time of year, we have to remember that and make sure we keep each other on our prayers. And slightly more on a bit more positive note as well, relish the times that we have right here on this earth, and the celebrations that we have, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. But this is a time where we remember and create memories, as we have holidays here in the UK and many countries across the world, because tomorrow is not promised, and next year certainly isn't promised for us all. So and we can have big highs and big lows within that time. So guys, make sure you do share thoughts out for those who are hurting and who are going through difficult times, but also try and embrace some of these moments that we have together as well, guys. But let's move on now into the next game, and that is Chelsea at home to Sheffield United. This one has to be a Chelsea win. If Mauricio Pochettino doesn't win this game, I think he's got to go out. I think that's time, and that's when the Chelsea fans will turn. Again, a lot made about how much money that Chelsea spend and how much they've spent of late, and the quality that they've brought in terms of the players. A lot of the individuals we'd all want at our clubs, whether you're fighting at the very top of the league or in Europe, you'd want some of the individuals that they have. But as a collective, they've not gelled well, and that's all to do with the issues that's going on at the club right now. The instability, it's too much change. There's so many issues there. But but again, that's probably another topic, another podcast that we can talk about here. But in this game against Sheffield United won against Brentford, and they got that 1-0 win. Big win for Chris Wilder, and we know he's a good coach. We saw what he could do with Sheffield United in his first season in the Premier League, had get them into the top half finish, and even to a quarter final of the FA Cup, where Arsenal won, Danny Ceballos, and the rest is history. Arsenal won that FA Cup in lockdown after. But yeah, guys, huge, massive game for Pochettino and a must win no matter what. Performance levels don't really matter. It's all about 3 points. And if Chelsea can get 3 points, maybe they can climb up the table. The highest that they could possibly get to is 10th. They can't get any higher than that. So they're not really looking at the table right now. They're just looking to get 3 points, move. Just before halfway through the season, this is a terrible position for Chelsea. And it's not really a reflection for me, in my opinion, on Mauricio Pochettino, but them as a club. They were here last year, in and around these poor positions, trying to get to the 40-point mark, etc. You know, heard Chelsea fans make jokes about that. And yeah, but they are really in a dire situation. 3 points is a must for them against Sheffield United. Otherwise, Tottenham, guys, no laugh, no joke. They're in a relegation dogfight. They're not winning this game. So yeah, it must be a win. I have gone for a Chelsea win. Not convincing. 2-0, which is enough. Get the job done. It's not going to be the brilliant performance because they haven't quite put that together consistently this season. We've seen flashes in moments in odd games, but I think 2-0 Chelsea win. Move on and get your 3 points and try and build some momentum there and make a late push for the European places. Going to be very difficult pushing into the top 4 because you're going to have to be hoping that literally so many teams above them drop off ridiculously. But yeah, it's all about first season thing now. Like, expectations are kind of out the window, but not to lose or draw this game against Sheffield United at Stamford Bridge. Needs some building momentum, needs it. And even if they win this game and the next game they lose, and that, it's not good enough. They need to try and give something for the fans and for the board owners to believe in as well, because there has been a heavy investment. Again, is it right what they've done? The strategy that they've gone with so many young players, little experience in and around the club, and 8-year contracts, etc. Another topic for another day. But let's move on now into the next fixture. And we have got Aston Villa in there. Massive credit and praise for Unai Emery and the job that he's done. And in that game against Arsenal, I don't think they were great at all, and they were quite fortunate. Forget the refereeing decisions and those things there, but quite fortunate to get the win. But dug in and fought and didn't back down. And you got to give credit for that, because in the Premier League, it's not always about getting what you deserve. We know that as fans, and we've seen our teams get victories or points or draws that we don't necessarily deserve, our performance levels, and we have to ride our luck with the poor officiating we have in this league. But Aston Villa dug in, got the 3 points, 6 points in a big week, again at home to Manchester City and Arsenal. John McGinn, outstanding. Great goal in that game. And yeah, we've seen some brilliant goalkeeping from Emi Martinez. And what a team. And they are currently in 3rd position, above Manchester City, 2 points above them. But do people really think they're going to be within a title race, or even at best a top 4 one? No. And the reason being is their away form in particular. They need to improve on that and not even be anywhere really as near as good as their home form. Build upon that home form. Make Villa Park into a fortress like it has been already this season and even last year as well. But build on that away form. Just be consistent enough to pick up enough points to get into the top 4, because Spurs, Man United, Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea, we've all seen the outside favourites and teams that you probably put above Aston Villa at the start of the season. They're not consistent away from home. They're not consistent with their performances, losing a lot of players with injuries. Aston Villa have been quite fortunate with that. And if they can have a little bit of luck, of course, even a title winner needs luck on their side in terms of the injury front. That goes without saying. So with Aston Villa, they're going to need a little bit of luck keeping players fit, but building upon that away form. Do I think they're going to do it? Oh, against a difficult Brentford team, especially when Brentford are at home. Yes, they lost 1-0 to Sheffield United. That was away to Sheffield United. They are without some key players that I think to this date, like Brian and Mbeumo, no Ivan Toney yet, and those are the 2 main players going forward. But they are a well-coached, organised side at home. Can Villa grab that win? That is going to be a big question. We will know more about Aston Villa this weekend and their credentials, because Brentford is not an easy place to go. However, this is if you're a Villa fan, this is the best time to go to Brentford off the back of a defeat, a little low on confidence, missing their key attackers, key forward players, going forward in Buemo and no Ivan Toney yet. They're gonna have to take this if they're gonna be a top four. Again, a little bit of luck, fixture timing, who you're coming up against, what condition are they in? You have to grab that 3 points. Aston Villa, real questions. Are you a top four title-ish contender? You're in a title race right now to this date. Not many people or even Villa fans think they'll be there come March, April time. But if you're going to be in a top four race, you need to grab the 3 points. And I have given you the 3 points in my eyes. And I think, I can't give you the 3 points, but I think you will get the 3 points. And I've gone with an Aston Villa 2, Brentford 1. Ollie Watkins, their attack looks on fire. Whether Moussa Diaby is going to be playing or Leon Bailey, I hope Moussa Diaby doesn't score for obvious reasons, because the Havertz Diaby team, I don't want to be wearing a Spurs shirt, and I want Martin, a friend of the channel as well, also to be wearing a Birmingham City one. So, yeah, I think Aston Villa are going to win this by 2-1 through to the next round of the Europa Conference League, finish top. Well, not the next round, the round after that as well, because they do have like a round of 32 down there. But yeah, guys, big opportunity for Aston Villa. And can they take it? I think that they will. 2-1. Next fixture, Newcastle United versus Fulham. Disappointing end to their Champions League campaign. Their home form, ironically, let them down. And their home form is the reason why they're even 7th in the Premier League, because they picked up big wins against Arsenal, Chelsea, lost 4-1 to Spurs away from home, 3-0 to Everton in their last 2 away games. If Newcastle are going to try and stay within that European hunt shout, Champions League, they want to get back there next season, struggling with a lot of injuries at this moment in time. Again, not really about performances when you're in this type of stage. It's about collecting the 3 points. Fulham, and hands up again, I've done a lot of admitting about me being wrong, because I thought Fulham would go down. They are not going down at all this season. And yes, they could lose João Palhinha, but Marco Silva is a wonderful coach. And I put Fulham as one of the teams to even, I thought they were going to go down, but even at least be around the relegation dogfight, losing Alexander Mitrovic. But even without a prolific goal scorer up front, they are scoring goals at a bucket load. And yeah, they were quite fortunate against West Ham side that had an illness bug going around, and there again a lot of it going around people. I'm just coming over it myself. Maybe you can see a little bit of energy spark coming back into the life Tereak talks, maybe yeah, I've talked a lot of nonsense in this, so yeah, maybe I'm back. But Newcastle United gonna need to grab them 3 points. That's by all means, that's what it's about, and I think that they will bounce back in front of the Geordie Toon faithful against Fulham. Fulham will give him a test, though. Definitely good. João Palhinha, what a baller. Wherever he goes to, whoever gets his hands on him, they're going to be sorted. Liverpool, if they get their hands on him, oh my words. Liverpool, he cannot go there. We cannot let that happen, guys. We cannot let that happen. But yeah, if he goes to Liverpool, my word, if he goes Bayern Munich, they're one of the favourites for the Champions League. He literally changes their fortunes. If he goes to Arsenal, hey, not this season, but next season, we'll be looking to break the defensive record that Chelsea put up, only conceding 15 goals. If you had a João Palhinha and Rice midfield, and then, yeah. Anyways, let's not talk about that, because he's at Fulham right now. I think they'll put up a tough fight. Good attackers, good team. Make it difficult for a lot of teams too. We drew 2-2 with them. Liverpool had some screamers. It took some screamers for them to beat them at Anfield after they scored 3 goals there. Yeah, but will be difficult. But yeah, I think Newcastle will get the win. Next game, and it is that Sunday one that I kind of did roast earlier. Sorry, Wolverhampton Wanderers fans or West Ham United. Don't attack me, please. I like you, especially Wolves and West Ham. Big respect to you, Hammers. But yeah, they are the two. Oh, what am I doing? They are the 2 o'clock kickoff here in the UK. And 2 teams again, mid-table, quite good. West Ham started the season really well, dropped off a bit really recently. Had some good wins, but not convincing performances. West Ham fans questioning a lot of David Moyes, even though he won that European Conference League last year. But they had a very poor start, and a lot of West Ham fans wanted him out too, but they just seem to be in and around, have some stability in that Premier League there. Comfortably a mid-table side, and Wolves, they aren't reflected really where they're supposed to be because of a lot of bad refereeing decisions and not taking their chances in a lot of games as well. You have to kind of say that with Wolves. They are in 13th, West Ham in 9th. Big game, and I think this is going to be a high scoring one for both teams. It's decent teams that can cause a lot of problems and will have things to say in the title race, and I think the top 4 race when they do come up against teams in and around there. But for now, I've gone with a West Ham 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. 2-2 draw, high scoring game. Good attackers for both teams. Hwang Hee-chan signed a new contract. No one, and I mean nobody in Wolverhampton expected this type of form from him or the amount of goals that he scored already. They'd have been happy if he ended the season with the amount of goals he's got right now, let alone the form he's been in. But yeah, he signed a new contract. One of their best players this season, especially taking on the mantle from Pedro Neto. But a 2-2 draw is what I've gone for there. The next game, as you saw, is the Sean Dyche derby. Burnley at home to Everton. Burnley, a very different team nowadays. They are one of the favourites to go down, but play much more expansive football, but more vulnerable, easier on the eye as a neutral, but again, more vulnerable and not as stable defensively. And Everton, who were deducted those 10 points, are out the relegation zone already. And no matter what happens this weekend, will stay out of the relegation zone. They'll want to extend that gap and climb up the ladder even more. A lot of Everton fans believe that they will get them 10 points added on towards the end of the season. And if they do, they could make a late European push at the end of the day. If they got 10 points added on from now, they'd be in 10th spot and only 3 points behind Newcastle and Brighton in 7th and 8th. So Everton could have a late push for this season if they do get them points added on, but they definitely want to secure their future, and they are having some administration issues with I saw what broke in the news yesterday that they're not allowing the owners to take control yet, and they could face administration. That came from the Daily Mail, but I'm not too sure, and I haven't done more delving into that. So yeah, it doesn't look great off the pitch at all. Completely different off the pitch, but on the pitch, Everton are doing well. And do I think Everton are going to win? Absolutely, because I think Sean Dyche away from home, their away form has been their key, but also coming up against a side that are going to be a bit more expansive. Let Everton have a few more chances in the transition. This ain't the Burnley of old, and I think that plays right into Sean Dyche's hands, and I think they'll grab the 3-1 win. And it'll be problems for Vincent Kompany. But if I'm Burnley, don't sack him. You're most likely going to go down. And yes, there's been a lot of investment, a lot of players signed, but a lot of them are youngsters who are very high potential, high ceiling, but very low floors, because that's what youngsters give you high highs, and you think, wow, we could have a special player here. But then also, mate, they're showing a lot of immaturity, and we don't know what quite to expect from them. So yeah, I think Everton will win convincingly here. And the final game of the weekend as well, Bournemouth, the Cherries. I've said a lot of sorries, but I need my applaudis. Give me a clap right now in the chat. Go on, I'm clapping myself. Big head tea, you know how I do. I said Bournemouth are going to be the surprise package. Slow start to the season. It was looking like I was wrong. It was looking like I had to put my hands up. Paxton, I know you are watching, son. You was on my case every single week about this Andoni Iraola. Called me a fraud. Now, I don't know if you did. You might have. But, I'm making a lot of these scenarios in my head. But yeah, a lot of people answer me about this guy. But he certainly turned it around, and they have clicked. And Bournemouth fans are starting to believe. And I think that he will grab the win here. Dominic Solanke, my pick as a little underrated player. I won't mind Arsenal signing in the summer. That's if we don't get anyone in January. Of course, I don't think we will. But there's an upgrade on Nketiah and a different option to Jesus, but can still bring you a high technical level and goals as well. Dominic Solanke, what a player he has been for them this season. They've got some good talents that we've not even seen yet. Alex Scott, Dango Itara, because he's struggling with a lot of injuries, and he will go for Burkina Faso in the African Cup of Nations in January too. So they've got a lot of players, high talent, spent a lot of money as well. Let's not forget. I've given them a lot of praise, but they have spent a lot of money. Completely different and opposite, but I still highly rate this manager, Rob Edwards. The fact that Luton are in the Premier League is a big credit to him and what the team that he's built. They make it very difficult at home, away from home. Don't get battered often either. And the last time, I think where they had a more than a 1-goal defeat was against Brighton. Am I right in that? This is, I don't know if that's a fact, but I think that's the last time they can lost by more than 1 goal. But I do think that they will lose here, and it won't be more than 1 goal. It will only be a one goal, kind of deficit, but 2-1 win to Bournemouth in this fixture here. I just think Bournemouth are going to keep rolling on. Could be above Chelsea by the end of play this weekend. Most likely it won't be because of their goal difference, and I think Chelsea will win and improve their goal difference too. But could be climbing up that league, could be above Wolves. If it goes how I predicted, then definitely, and even Brentford as well. So yeah, Bournemouth. Could they have a late European push if Andoni Iraola does some magic? Don't think so, because they've still got a lot of injuries and they're still trying to deal with too. So that kind of puts the injury matter to bed. But guys, I am going to show you the predictions league table now. As you can see, this is last week's table. Man sitting pretty at the top. There has been change, and there has been changes in the position. Guys, let me show it you in 3, 2, 1. Man's just still at the top. There's no change there. Pax is in second, but there's been a bit of a change between 4th and 5th. Mr. 200 climbing above Moss. And it's very tight now at the top, as you can see, between the top 5 in particular. Mange, Pax, myself, Mr. 200 and Moss. Only separated, in between us, 13 points, which can easily change. And it takes one massive week and Moss could be right at the top or even fighting or closing the gap. But there's a bit, Pax has closed the gap between himself and Mange as well. As there is only, 5? Is that 5 points? No, it's 7 points between them. Sorry, quick maths, in my head. I'm trying to stream at the same time. It's not that hard. I mean, shouldn't be. And it's easy to count. There's only 2 points between me and Pax as well. But let me show you, and big up to Nightwolf. Big up to yourself, Nightwolf, Shay's cousin. And Shay, you had a big week yourself. You got nice 7 points closing the gap. You had a great week there. And I think you got the highest in the last game week, Shay. Alongside Mr. 200, you both got 7 points. But Shay, you got 2 correct scores, my friend. So congratulations to yourself there. And there is Predictor of the Month. Moss was top of that. And Mr. 200 said, let me take that spot again. We got the current Predictor of the Month holder. Mr. 200 is back at the top. But guys, don't be disheartened. There's still plenty more game weeks to go in this month. There's 3 more to go. And guys, get your predictions into the comment section. Mr. 200 with 22 points, 2 correct scores. Moss with 18 points and 2 correct scores. Pax and Mange joint third with 16 correct points and 1 correct score this month. Obviously, correct scores will get into play if they are level. And yes, on points, because that can happen. You can get level on points, but have differentials in correct scores. So yeah, correct scores are a bit like goal difference in the predictor of the month and the prediction league. Sorry, people, excuse me. As well. So just to let you know, there are other people. Shay, you're fourth with 15 points. So you're only a point off of Pax Mange. We've also got the likes of we've got Alicia with 11 points, King with 7, Nightwolf, you've got 3 because it was your first week, and Jacob has got 4. There. So guys, if you want to be involved, make sure you do get into the comment section, put your predictions in. If you are brand new to the channel, do not worry, we will have predictor of the months for each month until the end of the season, and then at the end we'll have a big giveaway as well. So guys, I have given away £20 gift cards. Merry Christmas, enjoy it, get yourself a nice little something, maybe a nice meal, or add some to the Christmas present, something there. So guys, make sure you do get yourself in there. Predictor of the month, and there'll be giveaways, bigger giveaways at the end of the season, of course, for the ones who stayed loyal and stuck around the longest. But really appreciate you all for joining right now. Hope you enjoyed that Premier League preview show. I will be giving you more shows, and I will do a match reaction show after the Liverpool Man United game, maybe before that for the Arsenal Brighton game. Straight after the Arsenal Brighton game, I'll do a match reaction on Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I promise I will be here unless illness struck me down again, but hopefully not. Hopefully I should be over it now, at least until after Christmas at the very least. But guys, I really do appreciate you being here once again, and thank you for tuning in. You'll see me on Sunday. Guys, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. And yeah, we're out, people. Love to you all. Peace.